Good morning, this is Jim, 5714 Collector. I'm bringing you part 2. We'll call it the 1975 SSPC set. We got 10 more players, all with Atlanta. And one thing I noticed when I was going through the cards and just checking them out, looking them over and all that, some of these pictures are like, they took a picture of the player, he walked away, the next player came up. The pictures looked like they were taken from the same exact spot and all that. But we'll point that out as we go through this morning, as we go through the next 10. This morning we start with card number 11, and that is Mike Lum of the Atlanta Braves. So let's show that card. But note the background and all that. So you definitely notice it when you have the cards side by side. But just note that background. And then here's the back, and they got his full name there, so that's pretty cool. And he was a very good ball player, Mike Lum was. We'll talk about Mr. Lum here a little bit. Of course, he was featured in the 72 top set. Several of these players were and all that, so we just have to, write up, tell you how many seasons they played, maybe lifetime average and home runs and hits, and a little tidbit here and there, but Mr. Lum played 15 seasons in the majors. He hit .247 lifetime and had 877 base hits and 90 home runs. A very solid career. He had his best season in 1973 with the Braves. He hit .294, had 26 doubles, 16 home runs, and 82 RBI. So a very solid season. He had a 3-homer game on July 3rd, 1970, and that came against the San Diego Padres. And that's Mr. Lum. And card number 12 is Craig Robinson. And let me grab that here. That's his card. I love those Braves uniforms from those days. They are awesome. Here's the back. So that's pretty cool. Just love those. We'll talk about Mr. Robinson here. So he played 6 seasons in the majors. He hit .219 lifetime. He had 157 hits. He never hit a home run while playing in the majors. He had 789 plate appearances. So, again, I'm not sure what the record is. I know we talked about this in the 72 set, and somebody told me, but it was a lot more bats than 789. But still, that's a fair amount of bats not to hit a home run in your career. In 1974 with Atlanta, he had a career high 104 hits and 29 RBIs. He's also one of 6 players to appear in the starting lineup with Hank Aaron when he hit number 714 and number 715. So that's cool. They changed out a couple of the players, but he was one of the 6 that played in both of those games. So just a little cool piece of trivia for you this morning. So number 13 is Earl Williams. And one thing I'm going to show this, I think, on these two. We'll show you a little bit of comparison side by side. But this is Earl Williams. And he had a nice career, too. He played with the Orioles for a couple of years and all that. So here's the back of Earl's card. That's pretty awesome. So he played 8 seasons in the majors. He hit .247 lifetime, had 756 career hits, and 138 home runs. He was the National League Rookie of the Year in 1971. He hit .260, had 33 home runs, and 87 RBI, so pretty solid. And like I said, I think he played 2 years with the Orioles and all that. He had a decent, one really decent season with the Orioles. So before we go to card number 14, I'm going to actually show you 14 and 15 and show you what I'm talking about. So check this out. You can see how the pictures are taken back to back almost. So that's pretty cool. I wanted to make sure I showed these this way so you guys can see that. Because I know some people probably don't have that many of these cards. But grab them out if you do and take a look. So that's pretty awesome. So make sure I don't get them out of order here. Okay, so card number 14 is Vic Correll. That's pretty awesome. There's the back. It's a nice pose shot. I'm sure there's some people out there that have got this set and have autographs on the cards and all that. I would love to see those. If you're watching this and all that, take some time, do a video and show me some of the autographs on these cards. I bet they look really cool and all that. So So Vic played 8 seasons in the majors. He hit .229 lifetime. He had 259 hits, 29 home runs. So there you go. That's pretty good. With the Braves on July 31st, 1974, Vic hit his first major league home run, and it was a grand slam and came against the San Francisco Giants. Pretty cool way to do it. He had 11 home runs for the Braves in 1975. So, number 15. I'm going to have a heck of a time trying to pronounce this gentleman's name. So, let's show the card first. Let me spell it for you. It might be easier. It's Biff, Pocoroba. I don't even want to attempt that one. I know how hard that's going to be for me to say, so I apologize. There's the back. You can see it yourself, and we'll talk about Biff a little bit. So, yeah, I don't want to mispronounce the gentleman's name. So, Biff played 10 seasons in the majors, all with Atlanta. He hit .257 lifetime. He had 374 hits and 21 home runs. And in 1977, Biff played in a career-high 113 games. He hit .290, had 24 doubles and 44 RBIs, so pretty solid season. He was named to the All-Star team in 1978. So that's pretty awesome. Card number 16. To me, one of the nice guys in the hobby, or nice guy in baseball, however you want to word it. It was just, to me, a really nice man. Let's just put it that way. And really one of my favorite players, too. And certainly as a manager, he was one of my favorites. He was just an awesome player to watch on the field, and just a fantastic manager. And I'm certainly hoping he gets into the Hall of Fame here soon. I know he's on the Veterans Committee in 2027, 2028. So he should be named to the Hall of Fame. It's the great Dusty Baker. So just an awesome card. Just like I said, one of my all-time favorites. And for you all that don't know his real name, there it is. So very, very cool and all that. And Dusty had a fantastic career as a player and a fantastic manager career also. And, of course, he won the World Series title with the Astros and all that. So we'll talk about Dusty a little bit. So he played 19 seasons in the majors. He had 1,981 career hits, 242 home runs, and he hit .278 lifetime. So very solid. Dusty, along with his teammates, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, and Reggie Smith, were the first set of teammates, 4 of them, to hit 30 home runs in a season. That's pretty cool stuff. He was named the National League Championship Series MVP in 1977 when he hit .357 and had 8 RBIs. Now, he managed 26 seasons, so he spent his life in baseball, let's say it that way. He had 2,183 wins, 1,862 losses, and of course he led the Astros to the World Series title in 2022. The great Dusty Baker. Fantastic. Number 17 is Ralph Garr. He was a batting champion also. Very cool looking card there. That's pretty awesome. We'll talk about Ralph a little bit. He played 13 seasons in the majors, hit .306 lifetime, had 1,562 base hits, and 75 home runs. So in 1974 with Atlanta, Ralph led the National League in batting average at .353. Impressive. Hits 214 and triples with 17. That's a heck of a season. In 1977, while playing for the White Sox, he became the first player in history to bat against the Toronto Blue Jays. So that's pretty cool stuff. Neat little trivia question about Mr. Ralph Garr. So we have another player here who later became a manager and won 2 World Series titles. Pretty cool. So the Braves have, that's pretty impressive. Now, card number 18, Cito Gaston. Of course, everybody knows he won back-to-back titles with the Blue Jays in 92 and 93. That's pretty awesome. Pretty cool stuff. And, of course, I mentioned that on my card. He played 11 seasons in the majors. He hit .256 lifetime. He had 799 career hits and 91 home runs. Cito had his best season with San Diego in 1970 when he hit .318 and had 29 home runs and 93 RBIs. and he also made the All-Star team. So that's pretty awesome. And like I said, he managed the Blue Jays to back-to-back World Series titles in 1992 and 93. So that's pretty impressive. So card number 19 is Dave May. Dave May was an Oriole. That's pretty cool. He played for the Orioles a little bit. That's a beautiful card. Love it. So, former Oriole. So he played 12 seasons in the majors. He hit .251 lifetime and had 920 hits and 96 home runs. So pretty good. In 1973, Dave made his only All-Star appearance. He hit .303 that season with 25 home runs and 93 RBIs, and he led the American League while playing with the Milwaukee Brewers. He had 295 total bases, so pretty impressive. So Milwaukee traded Dave to the Braves in November 1974 for the great Hank Aaron. So there's your trivia question. Who was Hank Aaron traded for when he got traded from the Braves to the Brewers? There's your answer, Dave May. Card number 20, the last card for this week, is Roland Office. There's the front. Here's the back of that. Okay, we'll talk about Mr. Office. Let me put my cards over here because they have to go back in the binder later. So he played 11 seasons in the majors. He hit .259 lifetime, had 626 base hits, and 32 home runs. So that's pretty cool. In 1976 with the Braves, he had a 29-game hitting streak. That's pretty impressive. This was the second longest in team history at that point. So pretty cool trivia question there. There's my index card, so my stack will grow by 10 because this is the first week. Here's the second week, so we got them together this morning. We'll put them over there. The 10 cards will go back in the binder later. So there they are. So that is week number 2. I hope everybody enjoyed it. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys hang around for all of these. And I really appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy schedules. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. So happy Sunday to everybody. Please take care, and we'll talk to you later on this week. Bye-bye.